Hello, welcome. Today we're gonna get spooky. Spooky season is upon us and Halloween is fast arriving, so I thought that I would take this week and do a little bit of a spooky artwork. Just because, you know, who couldn't use more spook in their life? I mean, spooky seasons is one of the best seasons, if you ask me. I also decided this year to not do Inktober, which I'm kind of sad about because I've done Inktober for the past 3 years. Last year I failed at it. Yeah, I know. So I decided that this year I wouldn't even try it. Because if you don't try, you don't fail. That's my piece of life advice for all y'all. Just don't try and you won't fail. No, but actually it's because I have a lot of things to do and I'm very busy, so I don't have time for Inktober, sadly. Yeah, I say sadly because I do really enjoy Inktober and the kind of drawings that Inktober inspires me to make, like more spooky, kind of Halloween-y drawings. So I thought that I would do something a little bit Inktober, a little bit spooky, little bit Halloween-y, so that's what I'm doing today. So recently, which you'll know if you watched my latest video, I unboxed a scrolly box that had some watercolor supplies in it, and I actually really enjoyed using them, so I thought that I would try and go back to watercolors and see if I could make it work for me and like if I could enjoy the process of it. So I'm going to be watercoloring this illustration today. So what am I drawing, you might ask? And to that I will reply, I really don't know. It's like a mishmash of a bunch of different inspiration pictures that I saw on Pinterest, and yeah, you can probably find some story or whatever for this, but it's just a little drawing. So what it is, though, is a young, it started out as a young boy, but now it's a young girl because I just didn't have a lot of patience today and the young boy was not working out. So now it's a girl and she's standing at the bus stop, she's waiting for the bus and she's like looking down into her phone, and she has her guitar case with her because I just felt like drawing a guitar case. And behind her are these ghost type spirit creatures. I don't really know. They're kind of like inspired by No Face and what are those? You know, the ones with the heads in the Princess Mononoke. I don't remember what they're called. Please don't kill me. But yeah, those kind of creatures. And then they're kind of ghostly as well. And they're just kind of like chilling in a queue behind her. I was imagining that they're probably also waiting for the bus. So we have one right behind her who's like looking over her shoulder, very curious of what she's doing, and then one behind that one that's kind of like putting its hand on its shoulder because it also wants to look what she's doing. And then behind those we have a little fat one, which is a mama one, and then we have an even smaller one that's a baby one. And then we have two, I think they're like kind of lady, like, so they're like, oh, they're just talking about the weather or whatever. So I wanted to get this feeling of like something kind of spooky, but kind of like innocent spooky and kind of serene and you know, all those good. I love to do illustrations that are just kind of like, oh, that's a thing, okay. It's like, it doesn't have any like super intense emotion, it's just like, oh, okay. Okay. I don't know how to describe it better than that, though. I'm sorry. I am absolutely awful with words. I did also do the whole drawing, recording, editing, voiceovering process the day before I uploaded this because I hadn't until now, and I just really needed to because I wouldn't have time in the weekend. So I was trying to make this as fast as possible, but also without making it super shitty. Because I feel like I tend to use a bit too much time on my illustrations, and it's just kind of unnecessary. I'm the kind of person who likes to plan everything out really meticulously and make color scripts and thumbnails for all of my illustrations, and I think I've talked about this before, but I think I need to start cutting loose a bit more and just like going with the flow, which is what I did for this. I sketched it onto the piece of paper and I just went straight in with the colors, and it doesn't make for as nice of compositions and color schemes or whatever, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to make something without having to use all of my brain power at the same time. I've been in kind of like a slump or whatever, where every time I sit down to draw, I have all of these ambitions and I want to make it really, really good. So I end up worrying a lot about it and then spending a lot of time planning it out, which totally kills my creativity. So I think that I need to just start just doing and not caring so much about the result and having more fun with the process instead. And then I feel like eventually that is going to also show in my art if I have more fun with the process than if I'm like killing myself trying to plan out every single small detail. Would you look at their small little heads and hands? It looks so funny when they're just floating there. Oh, as you already saw, I decided that I wanted this illustration to be mainly yellow and warm toned, so I went over the whole thing with just like a yellow wash, and now I'm going in with a different tone for some of the elements to try and make them stand out from each other. Did I just bump you? I'm sorry. And yeah, darkening up some things. I didn't want a lot of contrast. I usually go for really high contrast in my art, but I figured for this one I would keep it kind of low contrast, and yeah, have kind of like a mid-range of tones. It's not an excuse because I just didn't want to bother making it more contrasty at all. Still, I feel like watercolors are kind of fighting me. So I know I was really positive about it in the last video, but I think that using different watercolors and a different paper in this video might be what's causing it, but it's still like, it takes such a long time, and it's just such a struggle for me. I mean, it was fun, but I also didn't want to spend any more time on it when I was done with it. So I don't know, man. Maybe I should try with those supplies from the Scrawler box again and see if it's better. Ooh, but now I'm doing the bodies of the ghosties, and I love it because they just fade out into nothing, and they're so cute. I realize they're very like inspired by Ghibli things and other things that we've seen before. But you know what? I'm cool with it. Not everything has to be super original, right? I am also, by the way, very sorry that my head keeps bopping in the frame, but I do have a tendency to lean very close to my art when I'm drawing or painting or whatever, so unfortunately you get a bit of my head in there. And then I went and filled in the eyes with black, and I think that maybe that was a mistake because I kind of liked it the way that it was before. They seemed more like they had this hollow eyeball thing going on, and they were a bit more eerie. Is that the word? I'm just slinging words now. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I think I liked it better without the black in the eyes. And now I am peeling up the tape, and it ripped the paper so badly. I hate it. It always happens to me. And I know a lot of you guys suggested that I use a hairdryer because then it comes up easier. Thing is, I don't have a hairdryer, and I also don't have the budget to go out and buy one, so thank you so much for all of those suggestions. But unfortunately, I don't have one. But eventually I got so sick of it that I just said, whatever, it's gonna rip the paper, and now I have a piece of art where the paper's ripped. Ain't that just how it goes? So yeah, here is the finished piece of art. I'm going to sign it real quick, and I think I like the way that it turned out. It's not one of my favorites, but it's kind of cute, I guess. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you later.